Hello everyone, hope you're having an awesome day wherever and whenever you're watching this. I'm your host Eamon Hassan and welcome back to another video here at Most Amazing Top 10. Honestly, I think we all have really high hopes for the future. When I was young, I thought 2019 would be like living in the world of the Jetsons with like flying cars and floating buildings, but we're not even close, and that just breaks my heart a little bit. And now when I think about the future, I go, okay, well, it can either one day become like the Jetsons or everything can just go up in flames and it could just be disastrous. And this list is a happy mix of both, so let's get into it. This is the top 10 scary visitors that came from the future. Starting us off at number 10 is the underwater city. Last year, a man choosing to identify as Edward came out and said he was part of a top secret experiment that took place in 2004 in LA, which allowed him to somehow be able to travel through time. He said during the experiment he traveled 3,000 years into the future and found himself in an unrecognizable city, or so he thought. He said he was stood on a huge wooden platform, but it wasn't just him. Everything was made of wood. The buildings, the houses, absolutely everything. When he looked around more clearly, he realized he was still in LA but underwater. Edward claims that humans become forced to live underwater after all the ice caps melted due to global warming. Well, nearly 70% of the Earth's water is locked in ice caps and glaciers, so if all that melted, it is plausible. But what's not plausible is humans as a species evolving to survive underwater in the short span of 3,000 years. Either way, he also had photographic evidence of this underwater LA in the video, which I mean, is it Photoshop? Is it not? I don't really know. Coming in at number 9 is the radio announcer. So this one is a bit of inception because this one took place in 1945, which is now the past, but the man speaking was from the future, but the future he's talking about is technically our present. But anyway, back in 1945, a British radio host garnered a lot of attention when he made predictions for the next 100 years. So he predicted life till 2045, and since we're in 2019 right now, we now know that a lot of his predictions actually came true. So much so that many believe his predictions were only this accurate because he was either from the future or someone he knew was. Here are his predictions. Man will set foot on celestial bodies like the moon and Mars. Half correct. Big companies will no longer have a monopoly on news and entertainment, and people will be able to access it anywhere. 100% correct. TV sets will get smaller and smaller to the point they can fit on our wristwatches. I mean, we can watch shows on our phones but not our watches yet, so I guess half accurate. He also said cameras will be at every street corner for safety, but it'll soon diminish our freedom, which I'd say is 100% accurate. He also made some other predictions that haven't come true yet, but I mean, we still have 26 years to make them happen, so here's to hoping. At number 8 we have harmonious living. Back in 2017, an anonymous Greek man claimed he was sent to the year 3207 as part of a top secret Greek military experiment. He asked more about the experiment, but his question was denied and he was told no one was allowed to ask any questions. That's usually how these things go. He accepted their proposal because he was promised a better job afterwards and $100,000, yet when he realized the gadget they were going to use had only been used in theory, he tried to back out, and they wouldn't let him. They said he had 11 minutes to be in 3207 or he'd get arrested. When he woke up in the future, he said the buildings he saw were gigantic. He described it as 5 or 6 Empire State Buildings on top of each other. Cars were flying, grass wasn't green, it was a deep purple color, but the strangest thing was the people. He saw humans walking with aliens, walking with massive animals, humans that had unnatural looking skin, robots, and everyone was just living harmoniously. He even saw a family of aliens play with a huge dog in their garden, and I know it's hard to believe, as does this man. He was like, I could barely believe it myself, so I don't expect you guys to believe it either. He said there were massive generators surrounded by neon blue light, and he figured that they were energy producing because all the flying cars were surrounded by the same light. See, this is the kind of future I can get behind. Filling our number 7 slot are better decisions. So Apex TV uploaded a video back in 2017 featuring a man claiming to have come from the year 2250. The man said he was born in 2215, and in 2250 he traveled back to the year 2017 to help us make better decisions for a better future. See, I told you this list was a mixed bag. But he says by 2050 there'll be a massive global food shortage because of overpopulation, which I totally believe. It's completely plausible. By 2098 he says rising sea levels will displace millions of people because of the overpopulation and less land available to live on, and he recommends self-sustaining underwater cities as a solution, which actually is in line with what Edward said earlier. He says by 2168 microbial life will be confirmed to exist on Saturn's moon Titan, and that no, we are definitely not alone in the universe. He says the reason we never make much contact is because these alien civilizations usually wipe themselves out before becoming too advanced. One good thing is that by 2250 he says that the life expectancy is 120 years old, and then goes on to say we can do better than that. See, I like an optimistic time traveler. Now at number 6 is the Park Man, and I titled it Park Man because this is literally a guy in a park telling his story and I have no other information about his identity. He goes on to share that back in 2004 he was sent to the year 2100. At that point he said time travel into the future was developed, but they had not yet figured out how to time travel into the past. Like many people on this list, the first thing he warned us about was the imminent doom that will be caused by global warming if we don't switch to clean sustainable energy as quickly as possible. He then went on to say by 2100 we have multiple bases on Mars, which is really promising to hear. He warns us against overpopulation just like the previous men did, but to combat this many people are being sent to live on different planets. He named Mars as one of them but didn't name the others as a precautionary measure as to not drastically affect the future. He said him as well as many other time travelers are in danger every time they speak out because people in the future have ways to eliminate all of them. They have ways of wiping them out completely as if they never even existed. He goes on to add that technology becomes so advanced to the point it's actually scary, and the second imminent threat to us after global warming is artificial intelligence. Go figure. AI in 2100 is smarter than any of us even dreamed to ever be, and it's so funny because even saying all this, leaders of the world are still barely doing anything to battle climate change, so against AI we really just don't stand a chance. Coming in at number 5 is the Alien. A man or being named James Oliver insists he's an alien stuck on Earth and that he has no idea how long he'll be here for. He claims he's an alien time traveler from a different planet who's sent on a mission in the year 6491, but due to the super blue blood moon interrupting transmission on a ship, he became stranded on Earth. When asked where he came from, he doesn't name the planet but says it's further away from the sun than the Earth, so their years are a lot longer than ours. The only information he gave us was saying that the Yellowstone supervolcano is going to erupt very soon and devastate the whole of America. He says the amount of ash it will throw into the atmosphere will turn the world upside down. Our transportation mechanisms just won't be able to handle that much ash, so both our planes and cars would just cease to work. I have no idea what would happen if transportation became that hindered, like I can't even imagine it. But also that was his only take on the future, and honestly even I could have told you about the dangers of Yellowstone. Anyone who knows anything about physical geography could have told you that, so I don't know if I believe you, Mr. Oliver. At number 4 is Noah. I feel like Noah is probably the most well-known time traveler of this time. I feel like I've heard about him so many times, it's just not even funny. I saw the first video he was on Apex TV where he was very visibly disturbed whilst telling us about what was about to happen to us in the next few decades, and last year he came out with even more information, so thank you, Noah. Noah claims his present time is the year 2030, but he came back in time to warn us about the future, which all these people seem to be doing. He goes on to say he's actually 50 years old but took an age rejuvenating drug to turn him into a 25-year-old. He goes on to say he risks his life every time he tells us about the future but still continues to do so. Our modern superhero. And these are some of his predictions. Trump will be re-elected, robots will run our houses, humans fly to Mars in 2028, the same year time travel becomes public. He said in 2030 the granddaughter of Martin Luther King Jr. will become president even though she'll only be 21 at the time. And the law is that the president must be 35 or older, but a new law gets passed, hence she's able to become president. Many were skeptical of Noah's claims, so he actually took a lie detector test and was asked questions about all his predictions, as well as things like, are you an actual time traveler from the year 2030? And every single thing came up as true. Either way, none of these years are that far away, so we'll soon find out if he was telling the truth or not. Filling our number 3 slot is Bella. YouTube channel Apex TV uploaded a video of a girl dubbed Bella who claims she met a Belarusian physicist who cracked the secret to time travel, which is not an easy feat to accomplish. She said in the time machine she felt a sharp voltage in her body, everything then went black, and when she regained her vision she saw anarchy. He sent her to the year 3800 and what she saw were corpses upon corpses, ruined buildings, and robots causing the destruction. She even holds up a picture in the video that she captured while in the future. According to her, the blurry image shows a flying destroyed robot shooting lasers in front of some futuristic looking structures. Bella even claims she ran into one of these robots. She said, "He had facial expressions, gestures. I want you to imagine a metal man, incredibly strong without the feeling of pity." Say no more, Bella. Say no more. Literally, because I already know who would win between me and that metal man, and I can assure you it would definitely not be me. Now at number 2 is 2118. In Feb of last year, a man named Alexander Smith came onto the Kyle and Jackie O show saying he was sent on a mission to the year 2118 when it was 1981. Alex claims he was part of a secret CIA mission which was so confidential he couldn't even tell his own wife where he was going or the fact he was going at all. He just had to go completely MIA. He said he woke up in a hospital bed because he was found on the side of the road passed out. Everyone was asking why he was dressed so weirdly because in that time everyone only wears white, which is really weird I feel. The coolest thing to him was the fact that all roads were just massive sidewalks because all cars were flying in the air. He added that we can plug music directly into our brains with wires and it's a type of music we can't even imagine. In terms of humans, he said he saw a woman walking with a man with no legs, so I think it's safe to say cyborg-human relationships will become totally common. He also said aliens visit us here and there but don't tell us and said we already made contact with them ages ago, as in right now. On the bad side, he goes on to say the greatest threat to humanity is global warming. Do you hear that, Trump? Global warming. And finally, at number 1 is perfection. A man claiming he's from the year 3000 tells us about a life that frankly seems too good to be true. He says by the year 2500 most human minds would have been reverse engineered and uploaded to a new digital reality, and so we all exist in a simulated environment. And these environments start off quite fake looking but eventually get so realistic they're better than real life. So it's kind of like the first few simulations are like the graphics of a PS1 game, but by the end, as they get better, it's like the graphics of a PS4, that HD. He adds that in these environments there's no pain, there's no disease, there's nothing in there that you don't want in there. By 2600 nearly every shred of information is online and giant computers take up most of the space on Earth. Real physical people still exist but at a certain point they upload their consciousness and they can still move around in real life through robots. I don't know how that works, but I mean I'm on board. And those robots also made superhuman abilities possible and available to everyone, e.g. me. And that's it for today's video, guys. I think the message we can take from these stories are: number 1, we need to tackle global warming and artificial intelligence now. 2, if you're gonna time travel, odds are the voltage and current you'll experience will hurt like a mofo. And 3, cars will definitely fly. Let me know your thoughts, guys, and as always, I'm your host Eamon Hassan and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!